Howdy. Welcome to another What's Up Wednesday, episode 109. 109 consecutive weeks of helping you be a better RVer, whether you're no time, still researching, part-time taking cool trips, or even full-time traveler like myself. Howdy, my name is Scott. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Go Small, Live Large, all about the camper van travel experience. It is a delight to have you here, whether you are on the live stream on YouTube Live tonight or watching subsequently after this post. We just love to have each and every one of you here. I'm going to recap some of my thoughts and feelings and experiences from this amazing weekend that many of us shared together. It's been a roller coaster of emotions all since last Friday, really through even today as I put the show together tonight. We're going to go for an hour. I do have some set agenda, but I do want to know that let you know that this is all about your questions. So many of you, we spent a lot of time together over the last few days. So this is pretty exciting. Let me zoom in here for you. Just great to have you here. We are going to talk about the Florida Vanlife Gathering. What an incredible event that was. Got a libation live. I'm even wearing my Four Roses shirt tonight. I'm getting no promotional dollars from any of these folks we're talking about tonight. And I got a cool song of the week for you. And we like to do a little survey on occasion. And here's a survey that I put out yesterday. And this was kind of top of mind because of where we just came from, this van life gathering. Which type of camper van would you most likely own? And I was a little surprised to find custom floor plan built by a professional van builder so high in the ranking. That's kind of interesting to me. Not a big surprise that large volume RV builders with set floor plans, think of the big guys, Winnebago, Thor, Jayco, etc. And I was a little surprised to see the small boutique who I was thinking of like Storyteller or Embassy RV, but having a custom built floor plan put together by a professional van builder was a bit of a surprise. So that helps me kind of orient where we might try and find some guests coming up. Maybe you have a great idea for a floor plan and Winnebago's not hitting it and Storyteller or others aren't hitting it. Hey, I got the floor plan. You put it together. I don't want to do a DIY project. So I was kind of surprised by that. If you're new to What's Up Wednesday, let me zoom in here for you. What we like to do is collect camper van tips. The email is down below. I've got a nice a bunch of them. Got a few more over the weekend, actually. And GSLL viewer recommendation at gmail.com. You can reach out there, send me camper van tips. It could be products, places, etc. And then we've got the jingle jar. That'd be the tip jar if you feel like you'd like to contribute to some of my the channel. Leave it at that. I'm sure we'd appreciate that. Do not feel obligated, but every dollar goes well spent. Wait till you see some of these pictures we have coming up for you. As I mentioned, I do have Libation Live. We've got small batch Four Roses on the table. So we'll be hitting that here in just a few minutes. And I'm excited about that. My liver's needing a break, let me tell you, after this weekend. OMG. But really, it's all about your questions and comments. And it's really important, please, to use the format, which is 3 stars, 3 question marks. It helps me find your question, your comment, and address your question more readily. And this is not about so much about me. I'm just kind of the benevolent dictator running the show. But you all know a lot more about each other, some of you, than you did a few days ago. And you can feel free to chat amongst yourselves as I go through the content. We'll try and get through some of these conversations going back and forth. But get your question coming in. And if you need some help on what to ask about, any of this is top of mind right now. I would even say van life campouts. How can we make those better? The Josh and Zach team did a stunning job this weekend. I think we would all agree. But first, are you ready for this? I am owing many of you an apology and certainly an embarrassment. But I was called out by somebody at the Florida Vanlife Gathering this weekend. And he rolled up on me and he thanked me for the content, thanked me for inspiration and all that stuff. Then he said, but first, or second or third or whatever at that point, he's like, how long have you been a full-time traveler? I'm like, well, So I picked up my rig in October 2018. I went full-time in February of 2019. He was counting on his fingers. What I've been saying is that I've finished my 3rd year. I'm starting my 4th. And he's like, you're absolutely incorrect. I'm like, what? And we've been kind of going through this math equation over the last few days to make sure I don't make a mistake. And it turns out I'm off by a year. I'm like, what? This guy was really cool, and I'm glad he brought it forward. I never thought about it. So again, this is the way we count, right? Because it's an anniversary. So I've actually just completed my 4th year. I'm entering my 5th this month. So February 2024 will be my 5 years of full-time traveling in this van. I'm holding up better than I thought. The Winnebago Travado's holding up better than I thought, because we've just added a year of living out of this van full-time. I'm in my driveway right now, which I'm going to show you in a second. But many of you can attest, I am living in my van even when I'm at home base. So I am really happy to say that I'm entering my 5th year of van travel full-time in my Winnebago Travado. And to me, frankly, it feels like I'm just getting started. So I just love when folks roll up on me and say hi and all the good stuff, then say, hey, here's something you might think about. And that's exactly what this guy did, and I really do appreciate it. So apologies for getting that wrong by literally 12 months. That's pretty embarrassing. I live in a van. I'm not a math major. That's for sure. All right, where am I coming at you from? This is home base, Florida. This is my van. This is Miss Lily. Again, she's a 2019 Winnebago Travado. I think I probably got the most attention because of the wrap of the vehicle off this weekend. Let me zoom in here for you. And everybody was just amazed at the wrap, and I still am. That's coming up on 3 years old, actually. Pretty excited about that. Home base Florida is in the West Palm Beach area, kind of southern Florida, endless summer. Much of the country still in winter. I'm happy to say it has cooled off in Florida, very comfortable. 76 high today. It's going to be high 60s tonight. No air conditioning needed. It's so pleasant. And even the bugs are kind of under control right now, which is pretty amazing. But the rest of the country, those were the highs today. It's pretty chilly elsewhere. So let us know where you're watching from, what your weather is. We always are curious about that. It's always kind of funny to see how the jet stream works, right? And the water. Up into Louisville, it's pretty warm, but just a state over. Santa Fe, New Mexico is 30 degrees colder than Louisville. That's pretty crazy. Lovely. Both towns are awesome. Gasoline in my area, Costco's the cheapest, always is. And that's my real gasoline price metric, is what this Costco selling it for. So there's an 80-cent spread within about 4 miles. 2 miles there, I see on the top. The average price around here is about $3.45, $3.50 a gallon. And they want to buy some real estate in this area, you better have a big checkbook because it's pretty expensive. And you're getting a decent house, but it's still pretty expensive. So with that, we want to say hi to a few folks, and then when we get, then we'll get into the meat of the matter. I got some really cool van event thing, brand new. You're going to get in your ears and eyes for the first time tonight, and you do not want to miss this. I am so excited, especially after coming off this weekend. But let's say hi to a few folks. If you're new to the program tonight, type in NEW into the chat. We want to give you a shout out. We love to say hi to some of the regulars here and the not so regulars in case you're new. So let's see. We got Mesa Mike. I got Mesa Mike saying howdy. He's at a Harvest Host. That's what HH stands for. 73 degrees. He's in the bayou, huh? That's pretty cool. Van Life Campout was epic. Yes, it was. Here's Bill and Joe. Can't join us tonight. Those guys had a great time. Here's Mason Mike. Truly an honor to meet all of you, my van family from Go Small, Live Large. We had an awesome community. Scott, you have grown truly a family with GSLL. Thanks for the great times. And that's probably a huge takeaway. So you can now go back to your regular programming, because that was really what it got me, was how big we've grown this together. This is a team effort, as we know. And I was just blown away by how many lives we've collectively touched, inspired, gotten people in vans that kind of shouldn't be in vans, but they're doing it anyway, and they're loving it. They've got a second lease on life. People came from all over the country to get to this van event. Not so much for me, but just for the event, for the community. And it was just so great. Frisco T came all the way from Texas. Mason Mike came from Arizona. Here's John in the house. They were lovely enough, lovely couple. They had a panoramic They were just great folks. And that's a great van, by the way. They waited 2 years, I think they said, for their panoramic to arrive. That's patient. But they moved from a Travato to a panoramic, if I remember. But they were just lovely folks. Kathy Supp came all the way from the Key West area, and she was delivering desserts on a daily basis. She was just so great. We love Kathy. She's got a heavily modified Travato to her own liking. Here's New York Ron in the house. Moonshine Dream. Hope all's well. Tennessee has crazy warm weather this week right now. Snow flurries this weekend. Take care. Love that name, Moonshine Dream. Wait till you see the table. We've had some folks drop off moonshine on our table for our row. It's apparently getting a little following around that subject too. Dana Maroon in the house. Good to see you. Let's see here, Steve. I think you were there, right? In your Embassy RV. We'll talk about in a second. Tin Can was there. Manatee Springs now. Great to see you, Carl, this weekend. That was so great. Let's see who else we went here. Here's Rich and Cecilia. They trekked down from the Chicagoland area and are taking the slow way back. They're currently in Indiana. You guys have been moving, but they had so much fun. It was so great to see you and Cecilia, and it was so much fun. Let's see. Here's Dave in the house. Costco gasoline. Nice. Roger and Jane, we missed you. We understand you have big family obligations, so totally get that. Family comes first. Those of us with distributed family, we were having a big family event this weekend. It was unbelievable. Let's see. Here's Dave in the house. Thank you. Fort Myers, just down the street. Nursing his 85-year-old aunt back to health, sleeping in her driveway. That's a great thing about a van, right? You can visit friends and family. Apparently help some get back on their feet and stay in your own place, your own stuff. It's one of the greatest things. Here's Justin. He's literally, what's up, dude? He's mooch docking here in my driveway, which is pretty cool. Great to see you. Yeah, same weather with gas prices. He's so funny. We're having a ball. Let's see. Sharon's in the house. A few more, then we'll get onto it here. See me G's in the house. Great to see you, sir. Nancy. I think we saw you, right? And my Van Gogh in Florida. No, I did not. Let's see. Roads of Life. Made it. Nice to have you, sir. And you missed an epic embassy gathering, sir. As you know. I'm sure you'll be talking. Cat Maddu's in the house. We had so much fun. And great hanging out with you. And by the way, if you're in a trivia game contest, make sure that guy's sitting next to you. He's got a big brain. He's got a great attitude, big brain. So it's just so great. Lyle's in the house. West Palm Beach just down the road. Hi, Lyle. Good to see you. And look at this. Wow, John. Thank you. You are right, sir. Thank you. Wow, that's a generous one. Thank you for that very super generous super chat. And let's give you another ring in the jar. Yeah, we really put some down. Wait till you see the collection. It's pretty new. Oh, this is good. Every time you drink. Okay, this is just for you then, Rob. You gotta take a drink. Oh, no way. Here's Gil, Frisco T's other half. Good to see you, sir. She did a great job, and we just had so much fun. I don't know about you, but if you go to a concert and you've been planning it, and you've been thinking about it, and you finally go and you're screaming, you're yelling, and your endorphins are just off the charts, and then you go home the next day, you wake up and you're so depleted on those endorphins, right? And you're exhausted, but you can't sleep. That's kind of where I'm at right now, and it's so amazing. Deborah saying that gorgeous rap has held up well. Thank you for that. Here's House About Home. That might be new. Glad to have you here, House About Home. Appreciate you being here. And here's Giles from Pompano Beach, just down the road. And Matt, thank you for this. Okay, everybody get ready to have a drink. Can't wait till I get to a van. Can't wait till I can get to a van get together. Wow, that was hard for me to read. Yes, we will love you, sir. We're going to talk about some new opportunities for you to join us tonight if you like the state of Arizona. So that is really, really awesome. All right, let's kind of let's keep going. I see Mark and Orlando, but we don't want to keep those that are joining for the first time in the mix. But if you're coming in from a new country, you can see the flags here. We love to put your country flag on the map, so be sure and shout that out. Let me share the van events. This is some big news, so you want to get your notebooks out. So great news. The Lukenbach, Texas is sold out on both accounts. The overnight camper vans, we're having a whopping 10, which is great, versus over 300. And the day of is now sold out, basically. So if you have extenuating circumstances, reach out to me. That'd be gslviewerrecommendation@gmail.com, and we'll see what we can do. But we just want to keep this small because we're kind of roaming around town. So, but the good news is, are you ready for it? Ready for it? I'm really, really excited, and I'll tell you how I found this here in a minute. I'm really happy to announce a new vanboree. It's in Arizona, very southern Arizona. It's April 20 to 24. It's in Bisbee, Arizona. Yeah, I never heard of it either. It's being put on by another outfit, similar to what we just went through, experienced, had so much fun with. Love piggybacking on somebody else's effort. I'm just the mouthpiece talking about it. I'm going to have a blast. If you are so inclined, this is going to be great. The URL there, you can type it up, pull it up on your other screen, and take a look at it. Let me show you where Bisbee is. So I was like, where is that? It's way south. It's about 90 minutes south of Tucson, about 3 hours south of Phoenix. It's about 3 hours, almost 4, west of El Paso. The good news is about 5,000 feet of elevation. I looked at the weather, and it's absolutely spectacular weather for that time. Warm in the day, cool at night. Here's from their website. What's cool about this is that the van community is taking over a small town. It's about 5,000 population. And here's, if you can squint, here's what they got planned. I've communicated to the producers of the event. I have not heard back yet because I literally just found this today. And what they're doing is they're running all the tickets through Eventbrite. So there's a ticket price to just kind of come to the event, and then there's a ticket price to park. It's dry camping. It's just a few days, so it should be no problem for vans. And I'm kind of scattered throughout the community. I really love this event. This is something that's really been on my mind and what I've always dreamt of doing, just did not know how to pull it off. I think in many ways this actually hits my marks way more so, even more so than what we just experienced, because that was cool. It was a big field full of vans. That's pretty cool. But this is in a small town and all these different venues you can go to, and there's all this history. So if you're kind of curious about this, it's probably going to sell out fast because there's only so much space in this small town. So hit up weirdwildwest.net. Check it out, get your tickets, and if I get any communication from the producers, the event producers, we'll share that out. But I am going, and I am so happy. We got to do this really fast. So Terry, he was the van next to me. Apparently he was in charge of collecting all the glass bottles. His recycling bin was overflowing with all the empties from the gathering. Thank you, sir, for recycling. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was just great. So much fun. So much fun. But if you want the party to continue, consider joining us here. It's going to be a blast. I'm so excited. All right, so let's see what else. I'm on this Instagram. I didn't post anything over the weekend. I just didn't feel the need. I just wanted to focus on the folks that were there, and so I was not running around the crazy YouTube, Instagram person. Some were, some won't. So what? And so what? That's that. Go small, live large on the Instagram. All right, what else we got going here? Let's see, we got any more questions, then we're going to get into our, how are we doing on time? I'm always behind. Let's go through this a little bit, and then we'll kind of we'll pull out some highlights. So let me share with you what you're looking at here, and I'm going to take a drink of water. I'm trying to keep my hydration up. No easy task, as you will see. So this is from the ladder from the back of my van. I'm looking forward. Obviously, right in front of us there is the air conditioner. So you can see this kind of wide angle, the number of vans just looking forward. And what's pretty cool is they set up a map. This was the map. The red arrow there was kind of the rows, I would say. We probably had close to 50 vans just in our immediate area that were associated with Go Small, Live Large. We had a bunch of embassy vans, probably the largest gathering of embassy vans on earth ever. I don't know if I ever heard of a final count because they actually got dispersed because there was too many vans in the embassy row. There was like 2 or 3 rows, streets really dedicated to this. In fact, you ready for this? Let me take this off screen. It's hard to see on this map, so I wanted to show you. So thanks to Sherry, because she actually managed to save these signs. Yeah, they named streets after us. That's the Scott Watson way. But wait, there's one more. And I'm telling you, we were a famous group. Ready for this one? It's the Go Small, Live Large lane. Now, I'm not sure who put the signs together, but they did a beautiful job. Is there one right there? There's one on this side. Spin around. The other one had a bunch of them. Okay, we got to tell them next year, drop the mushrooms. We're bourbon drinkers mostly, not mushroom folks. Just saying. But they did a great job. We had so much fun, and people just wandered through. And the way it kind of worked out is the day. Well, let me go a little bit further, show you some more pictures, a little more context here. All right. So that was the map. So we had 2 streets named after us, and it was so fun. They did a great job. This was the line of vans to get into the park. They opened at 2. I got there at 4, and it took about an hour to get into the campground. That was kind of the only real downer, but, you know, we're van people. So what do? We grab a sandwich, we go potty, we kind of creep along, and that was the road into the park. It was pretty funny. Right in front of me, what you're looking at there is an embassy RV, of all things. I couldn't believe it. Popped out and said hi to him, and that's what everybody ended up doing while we waited, is just popping out and saying hi and meeting the dogs and everything. It was just the most hysterical thing. So again, this is the picture from the top of my van, looking north, and just a sea of vans. And if you look to which one is this? You look to my right, standing on top of the van. That's Rob's van, and there's Justin's van. And then it's kind of hard to see in this angle. I apologize, but there's a really bright red one. And then just over that, that's where there was 2 rows of embassy vans. So that's looking to the what would be the east. You can see the full moon coming up there, just barely, right? And then if you look to my left, standing on the ladder, this is a lot of Travados, mostly Travados. It was Travado Lane, I think they called it. And it's hard to see in this picture, I apologize, but about 3 rows over was Storyteller. So they parked the Storytellers together. I don't think I saw very many Rebels now that I think about it, but Storyteller had their own section. And what was kind of cool about Storyteller, if you know much about them, they have kind of 4 van plans, right? And there's like classic and stealth, and then beast. Beast mode's most expensive now, literally $225,000 for a beast mode if you place an order today. And they figured they had close to $2.5 million worth of Storytellers sitting there. They had 6 or 8 beast modes, and it was a really expensive, fun road to go through. And we walked through, and not really to kind of poke fun at them, but I was just kind of curious about, you know, where they've been in their van. Some of them were literally just weeks of ownership. And the few that we talked with said, so where's your most favorite off-road place so far? They hadn't been off-road yet, but they had a beast. It was just like the funniest thing. Great people. We partied. We were the noisy road on Saturday night. They were the noisy road on Sunday night. And we just had great fellowship. Here's, let me go one more picture here. This is the picture of our center street on I'm not sure if this was Scott Watson Way or Go Small, Live Large Lane, actually, but this is what we look like. We were super fortunate. We had lots of space between our vans. The DIY side, for some reason, they were really crammed together. So maybe knowing, I don't know how we got so lucky, but it was perfect. Here's a nighttime shot of looking south. This is kind of the DIY group. And what night was it, folks? I think it was Sunday night, right? This cat had a new telescope. It was new to him, so he was still trying to figure it out a little bit. But we actually got to see Jupiter and moon was too bright as a full moon, but the Mars we saw. But what was super cool is we got to see the 50,000 year comet going by, the Green Comet. And it was just cool. Again, just bringing these folks together, and it was a full moonlit field. It was just, that's, just a nighttime shot from my iPhone, but it was so cool to see that. And there was a big group around him throughout the evening, just talking about stars and what an amazing thing we're seeing. We're living in our vans in a field, and this guy's got his comets flying by, and just what an amazing time to be alive. Even though there's lots of problems, but it's still an amazing time to be alive. All right, you ready for this? This is kind of the OMG. So we just kind of put the bottles out on the table, and miraculously, as they emptied, that's what's on the ground, the bottles kept coming out. And it wasn't just me. It was from everybody. We tasted some really fine tequila. I am kind of a fan, but I prefer the bourbon. And what was kind of cute is that people would just kind of come up because during the day, Saturday and Sunday, you didn't have an event. They had day events, or any of the the campers could do an open house tour. So we kind of had this sitting out there, and a few times people said, "Hey, can I have a hit?" And we're like, "Absolutely." So we got known kind of as Bourbon Avenue, nicknamed. Maybe they'll give us that name in the next go around. But we did a pretty good job on those bottles. I'm looking at the picture to see if we can count those. We had some good stuff. We had the Elijah Craig out there. We had Castle and Key, Copper and Cask, Bullet. Mason Mike brought a bottle. It was a Harvest Host. It was lovely. We had a Silver Belly whiskey, which was an Alan Jackson. They wanted to take the bottle home. That was won in a raffle by one of the Embassy RV folks that Embassy did. But it wasn't all fun and games and bourbon. Let me show you this. I did a talk on Urban Camping 101, urban camping, which is really discreet parking in a local urban environment so you can safely explore local tastes, culture, and history. And, it went over pretty good. You want to see how many people attended? I had just a few. Thank you, Rob, for saying, let's do a group photo. This was after the class ended. I don't know how many people are there, but it was a ginormous group of folks. And I had so many people come up to me during the open house tours that they really appreciated the content, the thinking, some of the thoughts. I'm going to absolutely try it. Somebody said, I'm absolutely never going to try that. But it went over really, really well. That was my first time doing it. We're going to do it again, maybe even at the Weird Wild West. I've asked them if I could do it there. And as always, at these things, you find ways to do it better. So I've already got a number of improvements to make. But look at that group of people. And it just is so great. And we're just literally helping people do cool things in their life as a community. And it's on each and every one of us that brings that to it. It's not me. It's all of us working together. Again, wasn't all fun and play. So did the workshop on Saturday. Did a van tour. This is Frisco Tees Fern. Beyond the Fern is the name of her van. Well, YouTube channel. Fern's the name of the van. So you're going to see a solo female tour. Wait till you see it. She's got a washer and dryer in her van. We're going to try and get that out maybe as soon as this Sunday. But wait, there's more. This was the Great Gatsby van. Wait till you see this 59K from Winnebago that this couple, Mike and Linda, did. They went all out, even including a flapper dress. And they were just the loveliest people. And so we did a little recording, but it was mostly just really to take in the experience and just share it with those that were there. So let me share this with you, and I'll look at for questions and maybe get libation out, because everybody kept asking me, so how do we find out about this? I don't even know how from the Adventure Van Expo in Chattanooga, because my neighbors were the producers of this event, so I knew about it. I said, hey, I'm just going to talk about it. We'll see what happens. I got a free ticket. They did refund my ticket, $100, right? Other than that, I made no money off of this. So this is just coming together. But I'm like, people are asking me, how can we find out about more things like this? So here's what I found. Scooting around on vanlifeoutfitters.com. They actually have a section on their website about finding van gathering events like we just went to and what we're going to be doing in April. If you go to their website, Van Life Outfitters, there's a whole web page area. Here's kind of what it looks like. This is what, there you see the weird Wild West in the bottom. There is like dozens of these things. So look at what it is, where it is, the dates. Some are free, some are paid, and see where it strikes your fancy. They're really kind of happily spread around. There's one, the Southeast Overland and Outdoor Expo. That's coming up pretty close. That's in early March. That's about a month away, in Stark, Florida, which is north of Gainesville. Kind of, it's pretty far north. But if you want to do more of these things, don't wait for me. Just go do it. And this is a resource. We just love sharing these kind of things to be a resource for you. So that was my recap of the event. I was overwhelmed. I felt like a celebrity. That was really cool. But give us a thumb up, but it's really the community that brought all this together. And people recognize Mason Mike, people recognize Frisco T, people recognize Sherry, all from videos that they've been gracious enough to open up their vans and tell their story. That's why I say it's a community. It's not just me, it's all of us working together. And I think that was what was so fun about it. All right, so let me look at some questions here. It's half an hour after, so we're pretty good on time. We'll do Libation Live here in just a minute, but let me get a few of these out. And okay, man, dude considers himself an irregular. Sir, you're amazing. I had so much fun. Orland Park, Illinois. Oh my gosh, that's just right up the road from Kankakee, where we used to have a house. Rain on the way. Good to have you here, Gary. Appreciate that. Here's Mark in Orlando. Hi, Scott. My wife and I enjoyed meeting you. It was a delight meeting all of you. It was just so cool. It was so overwhelmingly cool. I just can't describe it, but just a delight. Thank you, Mark, for being here. And oh, no way. This is Sam. Hey, Scott. Thanks for joining the storytellers and our wag bags. So I kind of did the thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. I kind of did the Brother Russo style of engagement with the storyteller folks. I just brought the bottle of bourbon over and put it on the table, and they didn't help themselves. And that's what the Russo do. They just kind of carry their bottle around and water people's glasses. It was such a great group. They were given tours and tell us about. We had toilet talk for a long time, and they're just the really great people. And the good news is for Sam and all you storyteller owners or curious, I'm going to go see their headquarters here in a couple weeks. We're just almost got that fine-tuned. And we'll probably have some big announcements coming from that about me being in a storyteller for a small period of time. So I love what they do. I love how they do it. My big hang up is the toilet. But I got to tell you, they're some of the coolest people. They are just some of the coolest people. We had so much fun. You guys were noisy. We went to bed. Sam and your row over there, and you guys were hooting and hollering, which you should be doing. This is great. Oh, hey, thanks for noticing. So Fair wants to know, what's up, Scott? You in a different seat in Lily? Yes, I'm in the driver's seat spun around. So I thought we'd change it up tonight. It's lovely weather here in Florida. I've got my window open, the bug screen down, and the bugs are really not invading yet. I got a few small ones, but I thought we'd change it up. And I got my kind of my mood lighting going on behind me, so that's what that is. Yeah, this is a good point. Thank you, Nancy, for reminding me. What made it really extra special for many of us was Terry, VP and YouTube star from Embassy RV, drove a van down to be with his customers. And many folks that were Embassy RV curious opened their vans, or the owners opened up their vans to those folks. And they had many discussions. And I'm sure Terry captures some new customers because, again, just the passion of the Embassy RV customer and the very different style of van. But to see him there out of his element, he actually looked relaxed, even though he was just inundated. He and I talked about some big ideas coming up later in the year. So more to come on that. But yeah, it was just truly a delight to have him. Thank you, Nancy, for reminding me that he was there. And that was a big commit for him. And his wife joined him, which is even more cool, right? Yeah, thumbs up. Thank you, Words Life. So Mason Mike wants to know, how many of the 37 bottles in your collection do you have left after this weekend? I need to count. I think we went through, from my side, maybe, I don't know, 6 or 8. What do you think? I had 2 bottles of vodka from a Harvest Host, 1 ginger and 1 basil. And because we like to have fun, we had Bloody Marys on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Just make sure we're good and ready for the open house tour. So the good news is I do have a little bit of space now, which means it's time to be buying. So I appreciate that. So here's Brad and Karen from Cajun Country, raining. That's okay. Justin, what's up, dude? What's your most favorite and least favorite part of the van life event? Tough question. Least favorite was the wait to get in. That was a little laborious, especially once you got up there and the check-in was really, really fast. So they're working on it. They got a lot of feedback. Many of you gave me feedback. I'm putting an email together for Josh and Zach, but I'm telling you, for the first time doing something of this magnitude, it was a home run out of the park for sure. It was kind of cute to watch folks traipsing back and forth with the outhouses, and they got a lot of feedback on this, so we want to bash them. But so this is, let me get my orientation. So this is where the exhibitors are here. This is, again, our rows up here, right here. There's this huge open space where I did my my talk, but the band section was way over here, and so it should have been more in this area, because I felt sorry for the musicians, because like after trivia, the awesome bluegrass band started, but everybody skedaddled to, go use the restroom or refresh their drink, and then you get caught up in the van talk, and then the musicians had like 12 people when there used to be 150 for the trivia thing. So I'm sure they got some feedback out of that. And talking about restrooms, so here's again, all the DIYers are on this side. They're usually don't have plumbing like we enjoy in a Travato or something like that. So the restrooms are over here. So that's a pretty big hike. And this other red area right here is where the restrooms are. So I know logistically they're going to do some changes next year, but look at this agenda. I attended some of the workshops, and everybody just did a great job. It's a good question. I'm not sure there was any real least. I could have gone probably another day. So it ended 3, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 3 nights, 4 days. I could have gone another day, but good question. It was just all so much fun. Next year, I'll be more prepared, for something like this. I'll have more stickers. Maybe we're all camping together. We put on a shirt for something, because they had like a tie-dye night or something like that. I can't remember. I don't know. We can get crazy and do some fun stuff together. But Roads of Life, thank you, sir. Everybody ready for a drink? Maybe I'll do that too. This is, I'll tell you about this in a minute, but let's just have to your health, ladies and gentlemen, and to everybody that joined us. Next year, and those that they did not join us, next year you got to do it. 4 Roses, Woodford, Elijah Pryor. Those are my favorites right now. I just so nice. It always makes your system stand up. We have your first bit. We need a drink. Yes, sir. Cheers. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Mason Mike. Yeah, so Mason Mike, so he's in the Phoenix area. There's the Santa Claus. Now you guys have to come to my area, neck of the woods. And we could even kind of have fun, because there's some really great areas that I've been to very close to where this Bisbee, Arizona is. Wilcox with 2 L's, Arizona, is an amazing place. And it's kind of the Arizona wine country. And there's a Chiricahua Mountains to climb. So we could kind of make this an extended thing. Come and go as you please. But yeah, we're all headed your way, Mason Mike, in not too long. Looks like it's a good time. And thank you, Kathy, for all your desserts. You were so funny. She was running around feeding everybody Girl Scout cookies. It was unbelievable. Here's Jerry Menchie from Cedar Key, Florida. We love Jerry. He's a prolific author. His latest book, ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever wanted to be an author, I just happen to have this right here. This is his latest book. And I'm actually going to have him keep me accountable for writing a book. I've always wanted to write a book, maybe on urban camping 101. So he's had so many books. We love Jerry Menchie. He is the channel's favorite author, for sure. Okay, we're looking for a few questions. Let's see. You guys are all chatting amongst yourselves. I love it. See, Matt's got a question here. With any luck, Scott, I'll be pulling into Bisbee and Lily's sibling. That would be amazing, sir. Get your tickets now, because as we talk about over the next couple of What's Up Wednesday that put on my website, I've small town, they can't accommodate the 300 vans. And by the way, the Vanlife Gathering guys are talking about next year. We've already got big plans. We've talked at the congratulations, Matt. That's not too far along before you get into your Travado. They're expecting 500 vans next year, which is a big increase over 300, and unlimited people during the day. So if you don't have a van, there's like day of event tickets, unlimited. This year they capped it because they just weren't quite sure, but it's so save the date, first week or so in February next year. Robin, Huntsville, Texas, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Here's J Mags. I'm late too, but ever grateful for this community. Cheers to all you for successful gatherings. So sorry I could not be there. Next time, for sure, we're going to do more of these. Kind of spread them out across the country. Not everybody can be crazy like Mason Mike and drive from Arizona to Florida to get to one of these. But as I find them on that website, we'll just talk about them and show up. Gary's got a question here. Have you ever gotten the knock on the window in the middle of the night to move along while urban street camping? How did you handle it? Great question. That was probably the number one question that the crowd had, and we tried to address it. The short answer is I've never had the knock while on the street. I did get a knock on a Walmart in suburban Nashville. It was a non-24-hour Walmart. I didn't check anything. I just there were some other RVers there, so I just went to bed, and it was about 2, 3 in the morning. Private security said there was no overnight parking to move along. So where did I go? I went a few blocks over and stayed on the street for the rest of the night. So I've never had the knock from anybody. Had some harassment, I'll call it. Not really. This more drunk people. A few times, and they come and they pound the van as they go by, but nothing really malicious. And I have my system for what is urban camping safely to avoid that altogether. So that's what we shared, and we'll be doing some videos about that. But done some already. We've done a number of them over the years. Just did a couple of them recently. Gabriel Sanchez got a question. Do you think Embassy would ever do a pull-down bed like the Oasis? Well, he's got a pull-down television that's humongous. I don't know. This was really interesting. Thank you, Gabriel, for your question. Some really smart person, wasn't me, suggested Terry be a judge for the DIY van builders. And he got some ideas. He got a whole bunch of and he got a few. They actually gave some safety tips too, being Terry. So it was really, really great for him. Would they ever do a pull down bed in the Oasis? I don't think in a van chassis it would actually work very well, because you'd have to have such an open space to accommodate the bed. Now, when you do a Murphy bed, I would be more inclined to be at an Embassy if you did a Murphy bed like I have currently. But they do have the Cape Cod coming out, which is a B+. So it's it's a cutaway chassis with the RV coach part on the back. So they're working on that. But I would not expect to see a pull-down bed like the Oasis in a van. It can be done in kind of a repositioning in the back. We've seen it with some of the European models, but John's like, I agree. It could have been a week long. And maybe even at some point, everybody gets, and the event organizers get overwhelmed. But even if you had kind of a come and go, um, there's a number of folks that left Sunday morning because they had to go to work on Monday. Totally get it. I apparently was at work. So, but if you can have something, and that's why I'm kind of super curious about this thing coming up, Weird Wild West in Bisbee, Arizona, because it's an urban environment, small town, lots of things to do, and you can kind of come and go a little bit. And this, I don't think it could, but yeah, I agree. It could have been a longer. That would have been great. Mason Mike, party gift. Yeah, Mason Mike was great, and so many of you, God love, and each and every one of you just had my back the entire week. It was so overwhelming for me. You were asking me if I needed water, did I need a break, get a groupie of that big class. I mean, you all really looked out for me, and I can't tell you how warming that was. And I just so much appreciated all of it. It was just great. Hey, Sherry Ann from Georgia. Good to see you. Let's see. Roads of Life got a question here. Been researching about lithium battery sellers using grade B lithium. Maybe people want a professional to build their van for safety reasons. I would totally agree with that. Victron was there. I think Terry's used Victron off and on. I think he's using Mastervolt now, but a lot of the DIY folks and van builders for people are using Victron. It's very big in the van community. And I'm not sure about what grade B means specifically, but Volt will use the grade A, if you will, as does like Lithionics, probably Victron. I don't want to misspeak, but Teresa's got a comment here. Was Terry surprised by the embassy turnout, and did he get a lot of inquiries? He was really surprised. In fact, it was because of the embassy owner wannabe group and passionate owners. They really inspired him to get in a van and get on the road to come down. They actually were one of the exhibitors, so they actually helped fund the event, and by being an exhibitor. And I think he was very impressed. When Monday rolled around, we were all leaving. They stayed over there. There was lots of hooping and hollering and probably a few tears. I think it was good for him it's always good to get out and just talk to your customers, see what's going on. How are you using the van? What's going well, what's not. And I think he enjoyed the break from the winter weather up in Elkhart, Indiana. But he's a great guy. If you ever met him in person, we're going to have a YouTube live with him coming up. I'm not sure when, but he's a great guy. I'm hoping to get to Cedar Key. Are there any boondocking places nearby? No, be very careful on Cedar Key. We actually interviewed the mayor on one of my first runs through there, and there is no overnight parking. The good news is there's a number of campgrounds, including Shell Mound. It's like a county park. It's fairly rustic. There is power. There's water. There's a dump station. It's a really cool location. But I would, there's no Harvest House. It's kind of hard to get to Cedar Key, sort of on purpose. But there's a couple of campgrounds, RV parks. But do not try overnight on the street there. You will get ticketed and towed, as I was told by Mayor Heath, assuming he's still the mayor. But it's a great town. And in fact, Dave, in Lee's Summit, when you get there, you cannot go to Cedar Key without going to Steamers. It is absolutely one of the best places on earth. I've ever eaten clams. They grow clams there in Cedar Key, and oysters, shellfish. And when you have a bowl of their most delicious steamed clams with garlic bread and a big old glass of Stella beer, looking out the window at the ocean, you're going to be like, I'm in heaven. And you would be. I love Cedar Key. I'm really trying to get there. It's Jerry Minchie's over there, so we're trying to get there to see him. Let's see. CMG. Scott, are you planning any other city town stops in Arizona, New Mexico in May, June? So we shared the one in April. That's about as far out as I am at this point, because my plan is to go up through the Rockies. I've never done that before. I'd be like, I've been to Utah a little bit, but Colorado, I've never been in my van. Then Idaho, Montana. So I'm going a different way. We'll have more things coming up. So stay tuned. And then it's really a ball toss. See me GM whether to get to California, turn and go down the coast, or turn the other way and get into Canada. I got a hot lead on some land in Canada that we might be able to use for a camp out. Camp out outside of Montreal, wouldn't that be cool? In like September or something? I don't know. We talked about it. We'll see. And the audience angel, who is so cool to come see us. Jim, you are out there. I know we're thinking about you, man. Hope you made it back safe. Let's see. John saying the event was the highlight of my trip from the Spokane, Washington area. Very fun. Just so glad to have you there. It was really pretty amazing. Let's see the first questions. This is no kidding. Mason Mike would like to give the Trooper of the Weekend award to Sherry for sleeping in her rental car. Her van is up in Wisconsin. She was doing some family stuff, so she flew down. She literally stayed in a rental car for 3 nights. Now, many of us offered bed space. I could accommodate her. Many of the embassy people could accommodate her, but she's like, nope. My whole travel thing started when I was young and I slept in my car, so I'm going to tough it out. I'm pretty sure she went to yoga on Monday to get Tuesday to get all the kinks out. Hopefully she was flying out on Monday, so I'm hoping she made it back. But yeah, no heat in a rental car unless you turn on the engine. No toilet in the rental car. No cooking. So she did get the Trooper Award. Thank you, Mason Mike. That's so funny. Oh my God. Let's see, Kathy. Yes, Kathy Sup, thank you. Bisbee event has several different camps. I suggest the GSLL take over the Catholic Church main lot, that's where I actually booked my stay. So if we want to all camp out there, I love Catholic churches. And they actually had a saloon. Camping in front of the saloon, I might not ever get out of the saloon parking lot. So I picked the Catholic Church. So yeah, if you're going, pick that one. That would be so great. And look at that website. There's so much stuff to do. There's a mine tour. There's, oh my God, all this stuff. You can have a drink in the smallest bar in Arizona. You probably have to take numbers to get in because I'm going to have one there for sure. And it's going to be great. Thank you, Kathy. It cracks me up. You're amazing. Bring desserts. JK wants to know, Scott, would you ever purchase a Winnebago Revel or a Wingham OAC? Great question. Totally opposite types of vehicles. My travel story now starting my 5th year of full time is having just completed 4 years. I was off by a whole year. I can't believe that. Started with the Winnebago Revel. What I knew as I was going full time from the get go, and that floor plan just does not suit my needs for that. And I don't go up into the woods with the moose and the mosquitoes very often. I got some feedback on that I need to get out of my comfort zone. I'm trying to teach urban camping, helping people get out of their comfort zones. So the Revel is very cool, but it just doesn't meet my needs on so many levels. The OAC, different. It's a very cool motorhome on the size of a van footprint in a parking spot, but it's a motorhome experience, not a van experience. So for that reason alone, I probably wouldn't, but you never know. If they can check some of the other boxes, the toilet, a Volta system, and I could toughen her up a little bit, wrap it, lift it, some of that kind of stuff. It's a very compelling vehicle. I like a lot of things about it, but not the van experience, which I didn't really understand until I spent the time in it. And we got more Wingham videos coming. We kind of gave it a pause to let people get a breather. Good question. Wow, here's Craig with a super sticker. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Okay, everybody ready to drink? That's a good idea. Who had that? That was Rod's wife. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yes, we're refilling the cabinet. I have actually been stuffing dirty clothes and t-shirts and stuff around my bottles, so they were so packed it never rattled or any danger of anything chipping or breaking. And I'm actually stuffing stuff into the bottle cabinet to fill up the empty space. It tells you a few things, doesn't it? Craig. Yeah, it was great to hang out with you all last weekend. I would say it was so much fun. The great thing about a van is, I even did it on 2 occasions, is if you're kind of done talking and walking and drinking and eating, and just go in your van, close up the windows, and take a snooze. And that's kind of what many of us did. And you just kind of hung out by your van, and all the dogs were, the dogs are mostly friendly. None of the dogs are fighting. There wasn't any issues at all. The only big issue was a John, who's got a really awesome National Park edition. His cat escaped on the first night, but managed to find it on the third night. So his white cat was discovered by the owner, brought back. So that was probably the most big drama over the weekend. But I totally agree with you. It was just over the top, and I can't wait to replicate it. Again, piggybacking on somebody else doing all the hard work. That's a ton of work, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do a little one in Lukenbach, but even that's a lot of work. And I think that's how we can do things together. I think it'd just be so great. Edward, great to have you, sir. Thank you for coming in tonight. Just tuned in. Where was the meetup? It was in Dade City, Florida, Central Florida, and great. The park staff was fantastic. The news showed up, and Mark in Orlando's got a question here. What is a good budget number for a wrap and a lift for the van? So the two best sets of money I spent on the van is the lift. Number one, I would do that before I wrapped it. It was $3,000, done by Off Highway Van out of Salt Lake City. I don't know what they charge for it now, but mine was $3,000. I'll be seeing them as I go back up through the Rockies in Salt Lake City. The wrap was $5,000 including tax, so about $4,500 to wrap the van. I'm sure that has gone up because he did a lot of work, and we had a lot of wrap. People that are familiar with wraps come by and said he did an amazing job. CRD Wraps is the name of the business in Wellington, Florida. CRD Wraps, and we put that on in May of 2020. So it's coming up on 3 years old, and it's the best, second best money I spent for sure. Lisa Mike. Okay, ready? I think I'm out of stuff. Super chat to please bring back travel videos. No more winging videos, please. It is travel time. Finish Route 66. Yes, sir. Yeah, I got a lot of, and he's on me too. So my goal this year is to do a lot of travel videos. So I'm actually planning my route out of Florida very carefully so I can do really tiny town videos. It's probably my number one biggest goal of the year is to do travel videos, because vans are cool, and they perform really well on YouTube. Even those aren't performing as well as they did for my channel and others. So it's time to show you where you can go in your van and why you want a van. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. How are we doing on time? Oh my God, we're almost at the top of the hour. CMG, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you. You are a cool cat. When are you getting your van, sir? We met in a meetup in Rancho Cucamonga. That's just always fun to say. That should be the name of a cocktail. But thank you, CMG. I appreciate that. So let me share the, well, we're kind of doing Libation Live already. Got a song to share with you. We always love to do that. So let me get back here. I think, we've talked about Four Roses before, so I'm not going to take the time tonight. But it's probably one of my top 5 bourbons right now. All right, song of the week. You ready? This came up this weekend. People love my country music during the open houses. So it's an old song, you can tell, because it's a record player. For anybody less than 30 years old, yeah, these are record players. This is how we used to listen to music. There's actually one in the Great Gatsby van. Wait till you see that. This is the song of the week. Mamas, Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys by Waylon and Willie. That came out in 1978. It was a #1 country hit for about 4 weeks. It was also on the Billboard Top 100 for a number of weeks. I think it hit 42 as the highest, but in 1979 it won a Grammy Award for a duo singer. And if you haven't listened to this in a while, I would encourage you to do it. It's just really a great song. And it's kind of like the Vagabond Life. You know, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys, let them be doctors and lawyers and such. And, you know, what if my mom and dad made me go be a doctor or something like that? I prefer being a van guy. I just got to tell you. So if you haven't heard that song in a while, that's a great song. All right, with that, let's see what else we got tonight. I think that's it. I'll just scan for more questions here. Otherwise, we'll say thank you. Let's see. Please hold. Here's Dream on Wheels. Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone. What's up? Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Kathy. I don't know how to say half of these park names around here. Coming off the tribal Native Americans back then. Let's see. House About Home. Any plans to visit the Northwest? Yes, I'm actually headed that direction. We'll be there in a few months, the Spokane area. I'm not sure I'm going to make it over to Seattle, but to Spokane for sure. My family's there. They're like, you live in a van, but you never come see us. I'm like, but you're way the other corner of the country, right? So I've got to go see them. So I'll be there. And in fact, I'm thinking about a Van Bury. There's a really special town in Idaho, northern Idaho, that's so great. It's such a great little town. I need to do a few phone calls. But yes, is the answer. Stay tuned. Okay, last here. Oh, no way. More van coming out in our Embassy Dolphin from Gulf Shores, Alabama. That's a great town. Gulf Shores, Alabama. I'm actually going to be passing through there here in the next couple of weeks. That's a cool town. Mom, don't let your babies grow to be van lifers. No, we don't want to give that advice. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Again, just an amazing week. I am just so thankful for each and every one of you and what you do for me and for the channel and for each other. It's just the most amazing thing we've managed to put together. And, you know, now starting my 5th year, apparently, feels like I'm just literally getting started. So with that, we'll have another video this week. We might do Frisco Teas video this Sunday. Then we're working really hard to get the travel stuff out. So thank you for your patience and sticking with me. But with that, we'll say peace be with you, and we'll see you next week on What's Up Wednesday, episode 110. Until then, journey on. Thank you very much.